It commenced as an ordinary Tuesday evening. Komal, the spouse of a Pakistani military officer stationed in a conflict zone, was cutting vegetables for dinner while her two young daughters watched TV. However, their military compound, which was arguably one of the safest places in Pakistan, was about to experience a profound sense of insecurity. Komal was taken aback when her husband called, much earlier than usual. He instructed her to lock the doors because military quarters across the country were under attack by supporters of former Prime Minister Imran Khan. In Lahore, the residence of a lieutenant general had already been set ablaze. Welcome to Slant News. If you want to support, you can subscribe to our channel. Thank you. With such audacity to attack a general's house, who's to say ours won't be next? The mere thought of it sent chills down my spine, says Komal, who prefers to remain anonymous. She immediately secured the doors and windows and stored food in the storeroom in case they needed to hide. She even contemplated how to escape the apartment if it was set ablaze. Could she jump out of the second-floor window with her daughters? When I saw the videos of the protests, I was terrified, Komal recalls. I have never felt so unsafe and vulnerable. However, she was torn. As a staunch supporter of Khan, she felt betrayed. Like many others, I supported Imran Khan, hoping for change, but now, I feel let down by the very person I championed. His reckless and inflammatory rhetoric fueled the hatred and violence that has plagued this country, she says. Deep-seated narrative. The protests presented an unprecedented challenge to Pakistan's influential military, which has governed the country for several decades, witnessing 3 military coups since independence in 1947. Although military rule officially ended in 2008, many believe that the army continues to be the puppet master behind politicians, and Khan was widely believed to have support. Even before his Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI) party came to power in 2018, Khan was hailed as the darling of the military. Critics argue that the army's social media teams portrayed him as Pakistan's savior, the sole leader who would confront dynastic politicians and a corrupt ruling elite. Despite Khan's falling out with the powerful military establishment, leading to his ousting from power the previous year, the deep-rooted narrative did not change the minds of many within the army's ranks. Gul, an army medical officer who prefers to remain anonymous, is apolitical but is now furious with Khan's supporters. On the night of the riots, she was on duty while her parents stayed home with her children. I wished I were with them. I kept thinking, what if they were attacked, injured, or, God forbid, killed? I can't put into words what was going through my mind. I couldn't sleep the whole night. It was traumatizing, especially for a mother who is separated from her children, she says. However, many in the army continue to support Khan, who remains the most popular political figure among both civilians and military personnel. If given a choice among the current politicians, there is no one else but Imran Khan I would vote for, an officer told me on the condition of anonymity. Another officer also remains a supporter of the former Prime Minister. I feel sorry for what happened at the general's residence in Lahore, but we don't know who did it. Imran Khan says his party workers didn't initiate the attack. However, my opinion of Imran Khan has not changed. I still support him as a voter and will continue to do so. He is a source of motivation and a true leader to me, she says. A senior officer from a security agency, who prefers not to be named, reveals that he frequently fields political questions from his subordinates, whose opinions are also shaped by the internet and social media. They sometimes question the military's influence in the country's governance. They seek concrete evidence that the military establishment does not interfere in politics. They inquire about its role, and we have to provide convincing answers, he says. Retired officers, who hold influence in shaping the army's image, also strongly support Khan. Raja Shariar, a former officer who retired 15 years ago, voted for Khan in 2018, marking the first time he cast a ballot. My perspective remains unchanged, but the recent events have angered me because the PTI leadership failed to control the protesters from attacking government installations and property. They should have handled the situation better than others, he says. Following the attacks, the army quickly presented a united front. A spokesperson for the armed forces appeared on Pakistani TV channel Geo News, affirming the army's belief in democracy. Despite propaganda by extremists and enemies, both within and outside the country, the army stands united, the spokesperson declared. However, the country remains divided. Shahryar acknowledges that he has never witnessed such a level of political polarization and expression of resentment against the military before. While many military families feel that a line was crossed when their cantonments came under attack and some police officers were injured, PTI supporters believe that law enforcement responded too aggressively. During the demonstrations on May 9, over 10 protesters were killed. Tariq Nasir spent an hour searching for his brother Omar in a government hospital in Quetta. Omar, 26 years old, had participated in a peaceful protest outside the military's cantonment area in the city when he was fatally shot. There was heavy tear gas shelling. Omar was holding salt and water for people affected by the gas. He was unarmed and peacefully exercising his right to protest. Yet, he was shot in the head. Why was an unarmed person shot? Nasir questions. Like many others, including Khan himself, Nasir believes that those who resorted to violence and attacked law enforcement or military installations were not genuine PTI supporters. He suspects foul play. The army has announced that those involved in the attacks on army installations will face trial in military and anti-terrorism courts. Videos of individuals apologizing for their acts of vandalism, claiming they were following the orders of PTI leadership, are being circulated by police authorities. However, many allege that these individuals are being coerced into recording such videos. Khan has stated that those who attacked military installations were not members of PTI and has called for a judicial commission to investigate the matter. Nonetheless, several of his party leaders and close aides, some of whom were arrested and later released, have also distanced themselves from Khan, condemning the attacks on the general's house and other military installations. My brother lost his life during a peaceful protest, says Nasir. At the time of his death, he was wearing Khan's flag around his neck. He lived for Khan, and he died for him. He envisioned a better Pakistan, and Khan was his hope. One day, his dream will come true, and maybe then, justice will be served. Pakistan's powerful military establishment has long been accused of interfering in politics, manipulating government formations, and removing administrations. Ruling parties have also been criticized for employing state machinery to violently suppress political opponents. Resentment toward both the military and politicians is growing within law enforcement as well. As we wear the uniform, we know them all. They think they are above the law. Only Khan can rectify this, a police officer expresses. What can we expect from these politicians? Just a decent monthly salary to meet our basic needs. Is that too much to ask for? They have failed us. Whether it's the military or the politicians, they are too engrossed in their internal conflicts while the country is spiraling towards disaster. The current situation in Pakistan reflects a deep-seated frustration among the population. The attacks on military installations have intensified the already existing resentment against the military's perceived interference in politics. At the same time, Khan supporters feel let down by his inability to control the protests and maintain law and order. The polarization within the country is further exacerbated by the conflicting narratives surrounding the events. While some believe that the attacks were orchestrated by political opponents to tarnish Khan's image, others argue that they were a result of genuine grievances against the military's influence. In this atmosphere of uncertainty and distrust, the future of Pakistan's political landscape remains uncertain. The military establishment faces a challenge in proving its commitment to democracy and convincing its own personnel and the public that it does not meddle in political affairs. On the other hand, Khan must navigate the difficult task of rebuilding trust and unity among his disillusioned supporters while addressing the concerns of those who feel marginalized. The events of that fateful Tuesday evening have left an indelible mark on the lives of many Pakistani citizens. The scars of fear and insecurity will take time to heal, and the wounds inflicted on the nation's social fabric will require significant effort to mend. Only through open dialogue, accountability, and a genuine commitment to democratic principles can Pakistan hope to emerge stronger from this turbulent period.